Hello friends, I'm Brian, and this is Gizmo Board Games. Today I'm reviewing a 2020 game from Feuerland Spiel, developed by Uwe Rosenberg, as you've seen from the title and the thumbnail. It's New York Zoo. New York Zoo is a game for 1 to 5 players. It's a family weight, lightweight game where you're building a zoo. In New York is the theme, but it doesn't really matter where the zoo is. The point is you're building a zoo. Let's go ahead and talk about the gameplay real quick, because it doesn't take long to describe this game. I think the rules are about 3 pages long, so it's a pretty easy, lightweight game for the family. But in order to play New York Zoo, the first thing you do is pick a player mat. There are different player mats depending on the number of players. So 1 player mat is for 1 player. There are 2 different player mats for 2 players, 3 for 3 players on the front and back side. So they're not taking up as much of the cardboard paper to develop. But you're going to shuffle them out and deal them out, and that's going to determine the starting player order and the starting resources. And the resources are just which type of animals you're going to start with. Everybody's going to start with 2 animals in their holding area, and the player count and the starting player turn order will determine how many holding area spaces you have. Some of them only have 2, while others will have 3 or even 4. And that's important for the gameplay as well. So how does the game play? Well, first of all, you're going to select to move 1 to 3 or 4, depending on player count, spaces in a circle around the player board. And there are 2 different types of spaces to stop on. The first type is an animal collection space, and when you land there, guess what? You're going to collect the animals of the type that are listed in that space. There are 5 different animal types in this game: flamingo, wolf, prairie dog, penguin, and kangaroo. And from those, you're going to either collect them into your holding area or into an empty pen or a pen that already houses that animal type. So nothing too complex about it. Go to a spot, get 2 animals, put them on your board somewhere if you have the room. The other type of spot is an area where you're going to go and collect new animal pens. They come in various shapes and sizes, and you're going to select the larger pens first to start filling up your zoo, going down to the smaller size pens. I think there are 4 deep on every location. And once a location is empty of pens, you just skip that in your movement count. The reason why that's important is because the object is to fill up your zoo with the hex tiles. So you're going to need to collect them and Tetris them into your zoo. And to help you out, you're going to fill up the pens with animals, because when a pen becomes filled, you will empty it of all those animals. You can retain 1 back in your holding pen if you want, and then you can collect 1 of the various tiles that are various attractions, whether the rides or food stalls or whatever. And those come in also different types and shapes for the large ones. And then you get down to just a 2 tile or a 1 square tile to kind of fill in your gaps if you didn't Tetris very good. But the idea is to fill up your pins with animals as much as you can, and then clear them out to take on more tiles to fill your zoo. You can't collect any more animals if you don't have anywhere to put them. You can't collect any more pens if you don't have any animals in your zoo to place in the pen. So it's a little give and take. There are also 5 locations on the map where each animal will breed, and for every pen you have at least 2 of that animal type. You can add another one to that pen because they bred, and that helps you fill them up. So there's a lot of strategy involved in what is not a hard game at all, because you're going to move and collect. That's it. That's the whole game. Move and collect. Try to fill up every available space in your zoo with a tile, and you win. The first one to do that wins. And that is a simple overlook of the game. It does play solo. I've played it solo, and that's just kind of a race against the clock to get it done before you run out of action turns. And that's it. Every other player count plays exactly the same. The zoos come in different pen sizes based on player count, and you're just playing the game. No matter the player count, you're going around, moving your elephant around the board to one of the 2 spot types to collect either a new tile or some more animals. So let's talk about, is the game any good? I think it's a great entry-level game. The theme is good. People love animals. People love zoos for the most part. So it's very easy to get people on board with the game. And then tell them you've got one action every turn. That is to move the elephant around the track to a spot and either take the top tile or the 2 animals depicted. It gets a little more complex when you get into the animal breeding, the timing of clearing out your pens and collecting, the race to get the best attractions, the ones that take the most space, and the effort it takes to Tetris the pieces in place. So that's where the complexity comes in a little bit. But again, it's not that complex. If you're spatially aware, 7, 8 years old, no problem, I'm sure. And then that's it. You're moving around collecting. I think this is a great entry weight game. Not hard to teach, not hard to play, and it plays pretty quick. Plus, you don't have to worry about any pesky scoring, or any capabilities like that. You teach people, fill the board. That's it. That's all you have to do is fill the board with tiles. So you don't have to worry about hidden objectives or hidden scoring or not teaching the, you might have forgot one, oh, I forgot if you do this, you get points or whatever. Nope. Fill the board. That's the game. I really like it. Easy concept, good theme, fun game. I really do like that aspect. All right, how about the ingredients? Well, the ingredients are good. You got a bunch of animal tokens, good solid card or solid wood in that case. The game board is a good solid cardboard. The tiles you put on them are, average tiles. If you've played a board game, they're not cheapy. They're not anything spectacular. They're average, cardboard tiles. The game boards, they're a little flimsy, but that's to help keep the weight down. And the box, from being overly tall, taller than it needs to be, it all fits in pretty well. And I don't think the game boards really need to be more than they are. Just a simple cardboard that you're going to put tiles on. So it works for what it is. The art, I really enjoy the art. All the the meeples look like the meeples themselves. There's a lot of detail in the player boards and on the tiles you're collecting, where there didn't have to be. It could have been really simple, really basic, but you really feel like you're in a New York park or zoo just from the art style. And the helper guide is printed right on your player boards as well. And the fact that they thought about making every player board different depending on player count, so you've got a bigger or smaller space to fill, plus depending on turn order, you're going to have like 1 or 2 extra tiles or extra holding pins. So I just really like all the thought that went into the design of this game as well. Z, is it easy to play? Well, as I discussed with it, is it any good? Yes, it's very easy to play. There's basically one action and then the thought around, trying to get what you need when you need it, and timing the breeding and, filling up the pins and selecting. That's where the complexity comes in. I've already talked about that, but it is very easy to play. I could introduce this probably to anybody who's over the age of 7, and not only will they pick up the game, they've got a good chance at winning it. More of it. Do I want more of it? And here's where it takes a little bit of a hit, because the game is so simple and lacks a lot of variety, a lot of complexity. In the end, you're going to play the same game over and over again. The only thing that's going to change is, how far people move it. So it does lose points on variety of play. In the end, it's the same game over and over and over again. But it's a good game over and over again. So while that does take a hit there, it's still a game I enjoy to play. There's just not going to be a lot of variety other than the tile layout locations. And finally, is it original? I think it's original enough. The zoo theme's been done a bunch. Animals have been done a bunch. Tile collection, whatever, building, tableau, that's been done a bunch. However, this still feels original. It's simple, it's elegant, it's fun, and that gives it some originality to the theme and the play style, because while it's all been done before, it feels unique when you're playing it, and that I really appreciate Uwe Rosenberg for making a simple tile layer, track movement game feel different than other animal games. So that's my thoughts, my quick review and how to play a little bit of New York Zoo game. Again, 1 to 5 players, probably ages 6, 7, 8 up. no problem. Easy to teach, easy to learn, nice family game that I rate 3.5 gizmos out of 5. Again, it takes a little bit of hits just on the originality scale and bigger hit on, you know, is it replayable? Yes, it's replayable, but with the caveat that you're going to play the same game every time. But that's my thoughts. That's my review of New York Zoo, a game that I think everybody should have in their collection because it really is that good of a game and that weight of a game that you can play, kill maybe 45 minutes, an hour at most playing it. You can teach it to anybody on a family gathering with non-gamers. Hey, you want to play a zoo building game real quick? Great concept. I really enjoy it. 3.5 out of 5 gizmos. I've explained the hits. I've explained too much. I'm rambling now. So I'm going to cut this short and just say thanks for watching. I appreciate you coming along. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe below if you haven't. That way you can come back and catch more of my videos, whether it's reviews, conversations, top 10 lists, whatever the case is. If it's board game related, I might cover it at some point, or I might have covered it in the past. I've been around 2 years worth of videos you can check out. And thanks for coming. Bye.